Welcome. I'm actually at Ben's office,
Wilson
and
office,
I
yeah.
decided to come in person just to say hi, have lunch, break bread, and
You bought me
just.
lunch today, guys. Winning.
So I bought him lunch. We also did some photo shoot and
Mhm.
doing some videos. And so I thought it was a perfect time for us to do this web event and focus on a topic that I think is very important is how do you stay focused, especially, I think one of the things is with social media and, this feeling that you have to do social media and all, with our cell phone being busy. I think it's so important to figure out how to stay focused. And so I thought, we're going to kind of, put our brain together. Well, not literally, but we're going to.
Yeah, right. You wish.
We're going to just tackle some key things that, Ben does and what we do to stay focused. And so maybe you want to start off with some of the things.
Oh, yes. So staying focused in any business, and particularly the real estate business, is the different ways you can do it. I know for me, God, being distracted is super easy. I mean, we have our phones in today's day and age, like Paul was saying, our cell phones, and you just turn his off right now because notifications keep popping up left and right. For me, I know my wife will probably tell you I'm like a Facebook addict, right? So I'm always on there, just perusing through stuff that I have no business looking at, and next thing you know, it's like 2-3 hours later, I'm like, what have I done all day, right? So it's very, very easy, especially when you work for yourself, that you start working like doing whatever, especially in a business where you're your own boss, and it sounds all well and good and great, but distraction is the part that we forget about, especially if we're coming from a W-2 space where, we had your structure, you come in at 9 o'clock, you do your 5, take a bunch of 12. So it's very easy to have all right, so I know this time I have to bog down and do what I got to do for the day. So some of the stuff I've implemented now, one would be I try to focus on the most important things, right? If I know today I got to go look at this house, or I got to talk to this contractor, I got to, go buy this piece of material. I make those my 3 main goals for the day. If at the end of the day that's all I get to accomplish, I can pat myself on the back and know I did something today. So that's one of the things I use a lot, and try to really, really focus on what do I must do today.
Yeah.
And from there, whatever else I get done, I get done.
Yeah. So that's actually what I do is every morning or the night before, I actually write 3 things that I want to accomplish the next day. And I put that I have a notebook that I carry around with me. You've probably seen it. And on that notebook, I write down literally the number 1, number 2, and number 3. And those 3 things, one of them has to be a marketing task. It has to be a marketing task that you have to, that I have to accomplish, whether it's calling a lead or reaching out to, not reaching out, but actually implementing a long-term marketing strategy. It's that one thing is something that has to be a marketing piece of, task. So that's helped me, and I've been following that since probably for the past maybe 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's what I literally do. And so I literally cross it out. And so I'll even show you. Hold on a second. Sorry about that.
He goes running to get his book.
Yeah. So I'm actually using this because I ran out of my notebook. So I took one of my son's notepad to see. So this is my son's notepad because you can see right here. It's my son's. He didn't finish writing stuff on his notepad, so I took it from him and said, "Hey, can I use it?" And so this is literally what I do every single day. I write down stuff on here, and I
to-do list essentially. Yeah.
Yep. And then on this right-hand side is the things that I do. And I don't really follow it sometimes, but technically this is what I do on this. This is the stuff that I have to do on this side is where like time schedule from 9 to 10 or 9 to 10 to 11. Things I have to do. That's basically what I've been doing for 10 years. And I have this notebook from 10 years ago, and, and I collect them.
Yeah, about this way you can go back and revise some stuff you've done and kind of keep track. I mean, outside of that too, guys, there are also, check on Amazon. There's plenty of different planners and whatnot you can use One I've actually used myself is the Law of Attraction notebook. It's a book kind of similar to what Paul was talking about here, but his is made, but mine is it's actually just a big Bible-looking book where I go through every day, and it reminds me of all the different goals and the stuff I need to accomplish that day to go through. So I recommend it. Either you do it yourself, you're using Excel spreadsheet, whatever works best for you, or your phone, even though I probably would discourage you for that only because it's full of distractions to begin with. So you can easily find yourself, going down that rabbit hole. So, but yeah, whatever works for you, that's what I'd recommend. As far, I guess, speaking of removing distractions, that would be the second thing. For me, if I know I got to bog down, like recently, what the last couple weeks, like a week ago was the 15th of October. For those who are currently entrepreneurs, that's the extension period for the IRS for you to file your taxes. And me being a classic entrepreneur, lazy as could be, I wait till last minute to get it done. And Paul will tell you, I was, don't talk to me, don't call me. I'm unavailable right now. My phone was away. I was focused, and I was in my office till about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock that night, just to make sure I got all my expenses in order to be able to file. So another thing, if you know you got to bog down, you remove distraction. Turn off your phone. You have to get Facebook off your phone, like me, Instagram, whatever distractions you usually fall on. You just take them away and focus on what you have to do. And the other thing too with that is that as human beings, it's really hard for us to stay focused for an extended period of time on something without feeling like the drain of or whatever we're doing, especially if it's not something fun. So give yourself some breaks and get up, take a stretch, drink some water, grab a cup of coffee, do all the things that you need to do to kind of keep you engaged to be able to get it done. But just usually small bites is easier.
Yeah, I mean, for that, one thing I did this year, or was it last year? Just toward last year is actually what I did was on my cell phone. I actually got rid of all social. I don't know if you can tell. You can't really see it, but I got rid of all social media on the front page. You know why? Because on Facebook or social media, you see that number show up, and that number, once it starts going to like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that there's notifications that are waiting for you, and you can get so distracted. And so what I did was I moved those social media to the third page. So like the first page is anything that is going to help me become a better business person or a better person. So I have podcasts and my calendar. And then the second part is anything business related. And then the third is where social media is. I have like 89 WhatsApp notification and 69 Facebook page, 21. How many you got there?
Mine literally has 152,000 emails. I have 1,900, notification.
Right.
But I did that exactly what Paul said. I actually buried my social media stuff inside another folder, folder.
I mean,
to make it a little difficult for me to get there.
I'm telling you, it's a huge distraction.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And you may not think it is, but it is. I mean, and it took a lot of, it may not be a difficult thing to do, but to actually physically sit down and actually rearrange all your icon, that takes time and effort.
It does. It does take time and effort. But for me, that's why I have 152,000 emails. So after a while, I don't even see that number anymore. It's just there on my phone. I guess if I remove it, I'll probably feel weird. So the next step the next thing you can do is use positive affirmations. I actually personally do that myself. It's gonna sound weird. I actually on YouTube I'll go listen to positive affirmations as I'm working. I'll have them play in the background, almost like background music. You are wealthy. You are blah blah blah. Kind of like the SNL skit.
Yeah, you can call me, all right?
Yeah, kind of like the SNL skit. So it's a nice one for me. Another thing I do as well. Let me rephrase that. I don't do it as I should do it. I've read the book Miracle Mornings by this guy, something Hal Elrod. Right? So he actually wrote the book with the premise of the book essentially can be summarized by lifesavers. So every morning you silence, which is meditation, A for affirmation, V for visualization, E for exercise, R for reading, S for scribing, which is journaling. Do these those 6 acts every day to kind of give yourself a great day. And believe me, if I tell you, last year I did it for a solid like almost a month. It was probably the best month I ever had.
Awesome.
I was focused every morning, but it's hard to, like any other habit, something you're not comfortable doing all the time. Life gets in the way, so it's been hard getting back into it. So most days I'll do maybe 3 or 4 of the 6. But every time I do it, I notice the difference. So it helps me stay focused, helps me stay balanced and with my goals in mind and be able to push forward. So I don't know if you've had a similar experience yourself.
Well, I mean, on that note, I mean, I used to, but because I've been so busy, I don't wake up earlier than I used to these days. I mean, I would say for the past year, but I think I'm going to get back to it and wake up earlier and spend time in the morning just, meditating and just, I don't know if you know, but I'm actually a Christian. So I used to back then, just spend time praying and meditating and spending time praying, but I haven't done that in a year. And so I think
you notice the difference. So.
Yeah, I do notice the difference. And I gotta, you bringing that up just, reinforce that I need to start doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's, it is important.
And it's very important. I mean, it's good for from a mindset standpoint, which is huge in any endeavor you want to take on to help you really stay focused on whatever you're trying to do. And I guess really, as far as the waking up thing, it makes me wonder sometimes, are my goals strong enough? Because if I had really strong goals, trust me, I'd be bumping out of bed every day, right? So life starts getting in the way. You start to wonder, why am I having a hard time getting up every day? Is it because maybe my goals are not strong enough? Because if my goals are strong enough, they tell me when to wake up every day. So these are something to kind of help you, revise and keep you in line with whatever you want to accomplish, so you can, be true to your word and be responsible for your own accomplishments.
Yep. And I think also 2 things that for me I struggle with, and I'm gonna try to be better, is exercise, which I've always for the longest time I always say I'm gonna work out,
Mm-hmm.
but
probably have a whole list of excuses as to why you didn't do it. Listen, guys, I'm a big dude, all right. So I hold no card to talk on this, but I've actually been doing concerted effort. I leave my gym bag in the car. I'll do anything and everything I can. I joined a membership for a gym that's everywhere, right? So I don't have the excuse. I'm taking the excuse. I'm working on taking all the excuses away. Every time I see one pop up, I'll take it away. So next time around, I don't have it anymore. I can't say, my gym is, my clothes are, I don't have a towel, take a shower afterwards. So anything you need to do to really stay to your goals, and that applies to everything else, right? Whether I was with writing, with, meditating or praying, with your affirmations. That was my issue. The affirmations. I got to write them and I got to think back. If I left my book at home, I can't do it. So now, at first I used to record it, then it sounded weird listening to my voice telling me to do something. It was just weird. Then I just found on YouTube and I started finding him. And they're set to beautiful, nice, relaxing music. And I'm sitting there listening to them, background noise. And by the end of it, I actually feel really nice. So it's different things, different tricks I've been using to help me stay focused on my goals, so I don't get, distracted or, lose, get into that despair mode, especially, as things get tougher. So
I think the most important thing for me has been just implementing and doing the stuff that's important in the morning, because in the afternoon, just kind of you kind of get slower.
Well, I mean, again, with that, everyone's different.
Right.
Morning, I know, is best for me. So my wife and I were actually working on, facilitating that for myself and her, right? But you never know. Some people maybe work throughout the night. Maybe the beginning of the night.
That's true. You know what?
So you don't know.
I'm thinking in terms of people that are doing full time. You might be,
part-time investor,
working full time and being part-time investor, and so you got to set aside those times. And
I like to call it the second shift.
Yeah.
Second shift
I mean,
starts.
I remember. I take that back. I mean, I used to remember when I started. I used to stay up until 2:00 listening.
I still do.
Listening to back then it wasn't webinars, it was like phone calls, and you would listen to other people through the phone, literally. And so that's how you learn.
You basically learn from listening. Anything you have to get there. That's definitely the way. I guess the third one would be setting.
Fourth one.
Fourth one would be setting daily goals. I mean, that kind of refers back to the first one, where we talked about the 3 things you want to accomplish per day, right? Just think of that, make it a point. But if you have it, so one thing that I've been doing now more with my planner is I've been setting daily goals as well as weekly goals, as well as monthly goals, right? So the monthly goals and the yearly goals are the bigger stuff that you want to kind of like chop in pieces to get to.
Yeah.
The daily goals are usually part of the bigger goal, right? So everything kind of lines up essentially, but you got to put it in a way where instead of saying, oh, I want to, flip 10 houses this year. And so how are you going to get started? All right. So you got to work it backwards and kind of like get to a point where, so if you want to flip 10 houses, how are you going to get there?
Right.
So you do the math, right? For how many offers you have to make to get one house. All right. I mean, the number it came for me is if you do about an offer a day, that's 5 days a week, right? That's 5 offers times 4, that's 20 a month. Out of 20 offers, you should get at least, 3 to 5, accepted. Out of 3 to 5, you might be able to close 1 or 2 of them, right? So you come up with that number and say, so now for me to flip 10 houses, from start to finish, the average timeline would be 6 to 9 months. So you're looking at, so now if I'm making 20 offers a month, getting 1 to 2 houses out of that. So if let's say I get 1, so essentially you have to either double your offers to get it done quickly, or set up a time, say now within the next 10 months I should get 10 houses. It's probably going to happen sooner, right? Sooner than later. But if you have the precedent, so now the goal today is to make at least 1 offer. Or 2 offers, right? You double your offers. So 2 offers a day times 5 give you 10 times 4 weeks gives you 40 offers for the month. You should more likely be able to get 2 to 4 houses that month.
Yep.
All right. So now you have the finances in order. You have the contractors lined up. When are you going to have time to go look at these houses if you're working full time, right? So you have to think of all these things, how you structure it, and set your goals accordingly to be able to reach that.
Yeah. And so for me, I mean, because most of it is marketing because I wholesale mostly. And so for me, it's about setting quarterly, for me, because I'm trying to scale my business with team. And so we have quarterly goals and we get together and we try to, develop what we want to accomplish for that quarter. And then we kind of go backwards monthly and then weekly. Yeah. And so
same thing, whatever works for you, whatever part of the business that you're in, whether you're a real estate investor, real estate agent, you want to start buying and holding investment properties, small multifamilies, larger units, you want to be a private lender. These are all different things that you can accomplish in business. And that's why I love real estate, right? There's 1,001 ways to make money in this business.
Yeah, there is.
You have to find one that works for you.
So last one, is do you have a last one? I have one that I want to.
Please go ahead.
I think how to stay focused, and I think accountability. Okay,
it's huge.
Accountability, I think, is huge. So whether it's another investor, or whether it's your wife, or even somebody on your team, to keep somebody else accountable and yourself accountable, you have to have that accountability. If you don't have that accountability, it's so easy to just let it go, right? And so that's why I'm here, keeping Benedict accountable for
vice versa,
doing certain things.
No. Listen, I mean, it's absolutely true. We're like, as human beings, we're the easiest people to lie to, especially to ourselves, right? So it's easy for you to say you're not going to do something. You'll find 1,001 reasons why you shouldn't do something. But if you have someone else that you're accountable to or is accountable for you, you're more than likely going to honor your word and be responsible and so on and so forth and accomplish whatever your goal is. So find an accountability partner, guys. That really, really is like the secret sauce. If you can do that, everything else kind of falls into place because that person will keep you to task.
Yeah.
That's it. And one bonus one before we leave here. Mine is break out of the norm. I hate monotony. Doing the same thing every day over and over and over again. So one thing you can do to help you stay focused on your goals, maybe change it up a little bit, right? If you're focusing on, if you're an agent, you want to get, as many listings as possible, maybe change up your marketing piece every now and then, or maybe the area you're focusing in, right? Change it up, maybe add another area, part of it, or a different type of property if you're an investor. If you're looking at primarily, flips, maybe switch it up a little bit, maybe get a couple rental properties in there just to kind of keep it fresh and keep it keep it new, and having now these goals kind of intertwined, because it's still going to get you the same number you're looking for.
Right, right.
Having these goals intertwined is a great way to keep you focused, and if you don't feel like bored, oh my God, it's the same thing over and over again, I might as well just stay and collect a W-2 every year, every year, right? Because it's just about the same thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.